Hi team. Hi team. Good evening to everyone. Good evening. Hi Meghna ma'am. Hi Rajesh. Hi Rajesh. Hi Samina. Hi Dr. Pradibha Agarwal. Hi. Hi to everyone. Hi Indrapal Singh. So thanks to all of you. So today let's start with some kind of fun. Fun is required always. So today Indrapal Singh ji, he has told that today he will sing a very good Punjabi song for all of us. Yes, Indrapal Singh ji. Indrapal Singh ji, sir is not there. Team, please join on the call video as far as possible. As far as possible, please join on the call. As far as possible, please join on the call. Okay, that's great. Wow. Hi, Sudhir Kumar. Okay. So people are joining one by one. It is a fantastic evening. Fantastic evening has to start with fantastic aspects, isn't it? Okay. Now, what we will do? Well, people are joining one by one. Yeah. Let the okay. So anyone will? I would like them. I want them to start with a song. Anyone song. Please start the session. Mental health means we have to enjoy the life. That is it, isn't it? Life is to enjoy. Again, so Hindi, Tamil, English, whatever may be the thing. Anyone, please. Anyone, please start the session with a song. अरे गाओ ना यार. चलते चलते ये मेरे ये गीत याद रखना कभी अलविदा ना कहना. Arey, come on, people. I want someone to sing, then we will start. Sunita Pandey. Yes, Sunita Pandey. Welcome. So last time when we had the, yeah, Sunita, please open the mic. Yeah, I will allow you to open the mic. 1 minute. Okay, Sunil Pandey, now you can open the mic.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Though I'm not a good singer, but I'll start with a prayer.
Yeah, Sunita Pandey, even I am also not singing, good singer.
Okay.
मुसाफिर हो यारो नगर है ना ठिकाना मुझे तो चलते जाना. Actually, yeah, come on.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
तेरी है ज़मीं,
Yeah, someone started singing. Yeah, please go ahead.
तेरी है ज़मीं, तेरा आसमां, तू बड़ा सभी रहे सभी तेरे खुदा मेरे बख्शिश कर.
Very nice.
मर्जी से मालिक हम इस दुनिया में आए हैं. तेरी रहमत से हम सब ने ये जिस्म और जान पाए हैं. तू अपनी नजर हम पर रखना, किस हाल में है ये खबर रखना. तेरी है जमीन, तेरा आसमां, तू बड़ा मेहरबान, बख्शी कर सभी का है सभी तेरे खुदा मेरे तू बख्शिश कर. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please clap your hands.
Very nice.
Clap.
Very nice.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
see, there are only two types of people in the world. Okay, there are only two types of people in the world. There are some people, they are born only to clap the hands. And there are some people, they are born to get the claps. Now we have to decide in our life whether I want to remain in both or only in one. See, we have to remain in both. We have to clap our hands and get clapped. Both the things. But our life should not be that I am all my life, I am just clapping my hands. And we have to take sincere steps to move to that level wherein I get claps. So that is what the main motto of the book of the Robin Sharma, one of the very famous book of Robin Sharma. Who will cry when you die? Who will cry when you die? It is one of the wonderful book. Okay. So today I am very happy to introduce Miss Sanjana. Hi Sanjana, are you here? Miss Sanjana, who will be doing the anchor role. Okay, she'll be dealing with the aspects. And now I am requesting Twinkle to join us. She is going to start with what is counseling actually. What is counseling? And she is going to take you people through the basics of counseling. Twinkle, she is a clinical, she is a psychologist, and she is specialized in clinical psychology. And recently she has won the award of Psychologist Par Excellence Award from Global Trainers and Counselors Organization. We had received around 360 nominations. Out of 360 nominations, seven dignitaries got the award for various aspects, like Young Achievers Award that was won by Sanjana, and Twinkle has won the Psychologist Par Excellence Award. So I give the stage to Twinkle. Twinkle, are you here?
Yes,
Please go
I'm
ahead.
here. Okay. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to actually thank Shiva sir for giving me this opportunity. And I guess I'm audible to everyone right now. Can everyone just mute themselves, please?
Yeah, I have muted them. Yeah. You can open your mic, Twinkle.
So,
Yeah, please go ahead.
okay. So, hi team. Today we are going to discuss about the basics of counseling. And it's definitely going to be a very interesting session for all of you. Now that we begin with the basics of counseling, the first thing that I want to know from everyone is, has anyone got any idea or can actually explain me or can just tell me if they have any idea about what exactly is the definition of counseling? If you will know about the counseling word, the term, the definition of it, I would like you to raise your hands, please. Or just leave a yes in the chat box. Okay. All right. So yes, some of you people are aware of what exactly is counseling. Now let's move to actually defining what counseling is and how applicable it is in our life. Well, we all know that counseling is something that a professional does. But how many of you know that exactly counseling is something that's not only done in the professional setting, but also outside of it? And the best part is that all of us have at some point of our time done counseling actually to some or the other person, maybe our own family member, our friends, or, you know, even a stranger. We could have done counseling for anyone. Do you people agree with it? Please raise your hands if anyone agrees with this. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so lovely to see so many participants being active out here. All right, so now let's shift into the very aspect of counseling. Like I've just said, in daily life, we all have been doing counseling of each other. And how is it done exactly? Well, like we can see, counseling has got these various aspects: understanding, listening, response, changing, confidential, and non judgmental. What do we understand by each aspect of these? Well, when we come to listening, that's the most important, or let's say the primary aspect of counseling. And it's very essential that we listen to the person. Okay, is anyone saying something? All right. Okay, so we can continue.
Just a
Now-
minute, Twinkle.
Yeah.
Sir, can you make me the co-host?
Okay, shall I continue now?
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please put it into slideshow? Because it's not clear if you see it in the small screen.
Okay, just a second.
Sanjana, in which name you are there? Sanjana?
Is it clearer now?
Yeah, it's clear. You
Okay.
can put it slideshow. Twinkle,
Yes,
put
sir.
slideshow, then it will be very clear.
Yes, sir.
Press Shift
Go to
F5.
slideshow.
F5.
Shift
Yeah,
F5.
slideshow.
You can put it
Sir,
in full screen.
Yeah,
Shift plus F5.
sir, Ashrin here.
yeah, yeah, Ashwin.
Sir, can you make me the co-host? The people are
Yeah.
making noise. They're opening the mic.
Is it better now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
All right. So yes, like I was saying, we were discussing about listening. Now, listening is a very important aspect. Every time we listen to someone, we are actually counseling them. Because it is said that every time we listen to someone, we are actually easing out the pain. And how is it done? How is it applicable is one of the most important questions. When we listen to somebody, we are actually helping them release the bottled up emotions. So listening is important because we help them release their emotions that they have been keeping them or holding inside them. Because of which listening is always been considered as one of the most primary aspects of counseling. Next to it, we have understanding. You need to have a mutual understanding when you're actually trying to do counseling or trying to offer counseling to someone, to be more precise. It is because counseling requires you to help you to make them understand what is happening in their life.
Voice breaker.
Is the voice breaking? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm talking about understanding, what I mean is you have to understand the person, the situation, the emotions that the person is going through. And it is only then that we'd be able to help the person out of the situation or the problem that they're facing. Definitely, counseling doesn't advise us to suggest them what they should do. What we really do is we just show them the paths, and that is how they choose what they want to do. Next to it, we have to be non-judgmental. Being non-biased is extremely important. Why is it important? It is so because if we are biased towards somebody, for example, if a drug addict or anyone who has a history of alcohol and the person comes down for counseling, and I might be skeptical about it because I don't like persons who drink, or I might not like people who are actually drug addicts. And if I actually apply that into my counseling session, that is going to have a very bad impact in our entire session, and probably it can actually deteriorate the condition of the client. Because of which we have to be really non-judgmental and non-biased towards the client. Next to it, being confidential is very important because it's an ethical aspect of counseling. Always maintain the confidentiality of the person's details. The client's details can never be shared with anyone. Of course, the case history is something that we do keep in store. But then whenever we are sharing, we have to be very careful that we don't, by mistake, ever share the person's details or anything that can harm the confidentiality of the person involved. Next, we have changing. Well, counseling is something that can help us change our behavior, our emotions, the way we perceive the entire world. And this is why change is a very important aspect of counseling. Now, responsive is something we have to be. When you are counseling, you have to be very responsive. By being responsive, I mean here that you have to acknowledge and validate the emotions, the thoughts of the client or the person who you are talking to. Talk therapy is not just about talking or communicating with the individual alone. We have to understand them. We have to validate them. Validating is extremely important. I guess people are clear with these aspects so far. Please raise your hands. If anyone has got any doubt, please ask me.
Sorry, Twinkle, can you put the screen as full screen?
Yeah.
Okay, Twinkle, let me help you. Go to slideshow. Go to slideshow.
Just a second.
We just want you to make it as a presentation.
In slideshow, you can do it, but Twinkle, if you are getting confused, no problem. Just listen to it because I will be forwarding the PPT presentation to all of you. PPT we will be presenting to you. Please tell me if you are having, she has spoken about certain aspects, whether you understood it or not. Very simple. PPT is not a big matter. Twinkle, if it is over, you can close the presentation. We will discuss.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Twinkle, you're on mute.
Mike, Twinkle.
Okay, so yeah. Has everyone understood exactly what I was talking about, the aspects of counseling?
Madam, can you little bit elaborate on responsive, madam?
Responsive, yes.
Ma'am.
By responsive, hello, yes.
1 minute.
Yes.
Twinkle, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Keep all the question and answers at the end of the session.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Twinkle, you need not answer any question.
All
Please
right, sir.
the question. At the end, I will give 5 minutes time. Whoever is having doubt, please keep it noted because otherwise the flow will be
yes, sir.
And
sure.
be able to complete the presentation.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I will clear all your doubts at the end of the session.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So now we are going to, now that we know about certain basic aspects of counseling, we are going to see what exactly is the difference between a psychiatrist and psychologist. Usually, we are always skeptical about whom should we visit, whom should we seek help from. Is it a psychiatrist should we visit or a psychologist? The reason is very clear because we lack exact knowledge about what is the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. So I'll help you with this as well. Well, a psychiatrist is a person who has actually completed their MD, their medical degree. After doing the MBBS, they go for their MD and that's how they become a psychiatrist. They specialize in psychiatry. Whereas a psychologist is a person who completes their master's or they continue to go and study MPhil or PhD and that's how they get their degree and they become psychologists. Another difference between the two is that a psychiatrist does pharmacotherapy or drug therapy. That is a person who actually gives us drugs or medicines to treat the problem, to treat the psychiatric disorders. Whereas a psychologist would rely completely on psychotherapy. Can everyone just mute themselves, please?
Twinkle, you are mute too. Can you please?
Yeah. Another thing that you people should know about psychologists is that psychologists have, there are different types of psychologists that we have. There are clinical psychologists, counseling psychologists, corporate psychologists, and also forensic psychologists, amongst others. Now, a clinical psychologist is a person who actually specializes with all the psychiatric disorders, which involves the psychotic disorders as well. So a clinical psychologist is a person who would work in a clinic, in a hospital setting. A counseling psychologist is the one who deals with adjustment issues, the mood disorders. Then we have got corporate psychologists. Corporate psychologists are the ones who actually deal with corporates. That is, they work at the organization or the firm levels. They work with different corporates and they help them, they help them with staff counseling services, and also in actually, picking up the right person, the person who would work best for the organization. So they help them with these services. So this was all about the difference between psychiatrist and a psychologist. Coming down to the next thing, we should be knowing certain essentials of counseling. Like I've mentioned about the aspects of counseling, these counseling essentials are extremely important. When we're doing basic counseling, or the basic counseling skills that all of us need in our daily lives, these are the points that you need to consider. First would be reflecting and paraphrasing. Reflecting and paraphrasing means where you actually reflect upon the person or the individual's emotions, where you validate them. Paraphrasing is something where you talk to them, where you repeat to them, and you paraphrase whatever they've been saying to you. They understand by this that they actually got acknowledged. They have been, they have got this validation. This is how they feel that, somebody is there to listen to me. Somebody is there who is understanding what I'm trying to say. The other thing that we have is summarizing. When you summarize, whatever the person has spoken to you, all you need to do is you need to just, say it in short, probably in 2 or 3 lines, whatever the person has said to you. Say if a person comes and tells you that I am just not understanding what to do in my life because I'm so much done. I'm not achieving anything. And this is how you're going to summarize when you say, so you mean that you haven't been able to do anything in your life and you feel really bad about it. When you're saying this, again, you're actually validating the person. So validation is extremely important in counseling. And this is what you do in reflecting and paraphrasing as well as in summarizing. Now, questions. You have to be very careful about the questions that you ask your person. You cannot simply go and say, are you depressed? This is not going to work. When we are talking to an individual, we have to be very careful of what we pick. We are not going to answer them or question them anything that might hurt their sentiments or that makes them feel that even this particular person is not listening to me or would not listen to me or would judge me. So we have to stay very careful about what sort of questions we pick. Instead of asking, are you depressed? We can ask actually by feeling whatever, they are reflecting on us, their body language. It's very important to understand them. It's only then that we can ask, are you feeling low? Do you think I can help you in some way? Or let's try to figure out what can we do for you. So these are the kind of questions, or this is how you would actually, lay the platform when you're trying to counsel someone. Instead of directly hitting up with the question, why are you depressed? Or what makes you depressed? We should not do that. And we should clearly avoid it. Another aspect is focusing. This is a very important counseling skill. You have to remain focused throughout the counseling session. Whenever you're talking to the person, focus and just try to understand the body language. Whatever they are trying to express, their tone of their speech, you have to be very careful of what they're trying to say. Because at times, when they are talking to us, their body language is completely contradicting with it. So we have to understand and differentiate in between the two. Immediacy is something that is very essential. It might be a case where, a person comes and tells you, I'm very depressed and I just want to commit suicide. I don't want to live anymore. It is at this point of time that you have to understand that this is a very urgent situation. And out here, you need to take some action. Sometimes, you have to just be very careful and you have to refer the person to a psychiatrist, because psychiatrist would then, prescribe certain SSRIs, and then anxiolytic drugs are there too, and the person would calm down. But please don't ever try to, counsel a person who is actually trying to tell you that they have suicidal ideations, and that might put you and also the person's life in risk. Rapport building is another thing. It's very important when you're doing counseling. If you don't have rapport build, a good rapport building, skill, it's going to impact you throughout your career. Actually, rapport building is something where you actually build professional relationship, where the person would want to speak to you and is comfortable speaking to you. By comfortable, what I mean is you need to be very careful about what you talk about, the way you validate them, the way you make them feel. This is how they are going to actually open up with you, and that is when they are going to talk to you about their problems. If you don't validate them, or if you don't just listen to them properly and you keep on speaking, they are not going to have that rapport with you, and they're not going to come back to you. Our main motto is not to make them come back to us. Our main motto is to build a relationship that is going to last for long, and that is going to help them in their future, in their lives, in solving the problems that they are having. Silence is a very good skill that we all need. Sometimes it's not necessary that we keep on speaking to the person, or we keep on suggesting people what they should do. Sometimes silence is just what we need. After the person has shared things with us, it's better that we maintain silence. Silence for a couple of seconds would actually matter a lot. And that's how the person would actually calm down. After releasing the bottled up emotions, the person would feel more relaxed and would be in a better state of mind. Attending is the last counseling skill that we are going to talk about. You have to attend to the person's emotions, to the person's thoughts. And how are you going to do that? The person's thoughts definitely varies. Every individual has got their own thoughts. But to this, we have to be very careful that we understand what they're trying to speak. And it's not just about acknowledging, but also telling them what is the difference between right and wrong. We have to attend to their emotions, but at the same time, we have to tell them where they are going wrong, or where they should actually try to just see beyond what they perceive as the situation to be. So these are some of the basic counseling skills that all of us need in our lives, not only at a professional level, but definitely, at the basic level, usually in our everyday lives as well. Now, how does counseling helps us? Counseling would build our self-esteem and confidence. It offers us a safe place to learn to be. It helps us to listen and respond to our needs. It's also applicable in our lives, because when we are listening to somebody, we are developing that concentration, that focus, and definitely that's going to have a great impact in our own life. Then another benefit of counseling is that it enables us to relate better with others. It allows us to be us. What does this mean? Allows you to be you is something that you know where you stand, you know who you are. You actually identify yourself and you can relate to what you want. Self-esteem depends upon self-identification, knowing thyself. And you would know yourself when you would actually be, not stay in that narrow-minded zone, but actually come out of it. And it's only then that you would know who you are, what you want in your life, and what is the purpose of your life, or what you want to do in life. Another benefit is it empowers you to enjoy life. Yes, definitely. We all feel empowered, after we feel that, yes, we've got acknowledged that, yes, there's somebody who's there to guide me. Then the another benefit of counseling is that it helps us to navigate change. Change is a vital part of life. In every aspect, in every developmental milestone that we cover, we face these various changes, from childhood to teenager to adult life, and definitely until the old age. We all have different types of changes and we have to adjust ourselves. Counseling helps us with adjustment. Confidential, non-judgmental support. Counseling offers us confidentiality when we are talking to a person. We say, for example, we are talking to our friend. We might be skeptical, would that person actually keep my secret? But when we are going to counselor, We know that the counselor is going to keep it very much confidential, is not going to share my details with anyone, and the person would not judge me. Yes, a counselor would never judge you. A counselor would understand you instead and definitely be very unbiased and supportive towards you. And lastly, like I told you, it builds our self-esteem and confidence. Self-esteem and confidence is extremely important in today's world because, with the growing aspect, with this revolution that we are actually into, we need to have a very good self-esteem. These days, we all are having these Instagrams and Facebook, and we post our pictures, and many teenagers come up to me who say, I have low self-esteem. And the reason is that I don't get many likes on my Instagram photograph. And I would like to actually question all of you. Do you people agree that Instagram is something that is going to actually tell us who we are? How many of you agree with it? Or should I say the other question? Yeah. Okay. Anybody else who would like to actually answer it? Do you agree to it that our Instagram likes are going to decide who we are or if we are perfect or not?
No.
It definitely won't.
No.
Yes, thank you so much for participating. Thank you. And
Thank you,
everybody.
Twinkle.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you so much for responding. Now, this is something that we need to understand as well. When we do counseling, we understand that self-esteem or our confidence or who we are is something that is within us. It's not in our looks. It's not in our personality. It is who we are. If we stand confident in our own skin, this is what makes us. And this is what a counselor or a counseling session would help you do. So these were some of the benefits of counseling. Now, having known about some of the basic, everyone please mute themselves. Okay. So now that we have learned about certain essentials of counseling, how it benefits us, we would actually get into a professional definition of what exactly counseling is. Now, according to 2020, a vision for the future of counseling, the delegates comprised of 31 counseling organizations, and all of them agreed upon a unified definition of counseling. Now, what is that definition? That definition is that professional counseling is a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families, and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education, and career goals. Now, by this, we mean a counseling not only empowers us or boosts our self-confidence or makes us feel acknowledged, but it also helps us with our, individuality issues that we have. The issues that we face in the family, the adjustment issues, the mental health issues that we develop due to whatsoever situations that occur in our life. The educational aspects includes concentration, focus, and memory. And of course, we have the career goals. We all want to, accomplish and be the best in our lives. And counseling helps us accomplish by actually guiding us through the right path, by helping us recognize what are the strengths, the weaknesses, and what do we want in our lives. Now, where is counseling used? Counseling is used in different aspects. It is actually used in different centers at different places. There are counselors who also specialize in certain types of counseling. So the types of counseling, or let's say where counseling is actually applicable, it is addiction and abuse of alcohol and other drugs, substance abuse and alcohol addicts. These people get a lot of benefit from counseling, provided that they have got treatment from a good psychiatrist. They have been on 4 fluids, SSRIs, and anxiolytic drugs, post which when they are much better and they have taken up the psychotic drugs and they are actually in a state to understand, we offer them counseling. Adjustment issues. By adjustment issues, we mean the adjustment problems that we all face, maybe during our school days, our college days, at workplace, or even after marriage. There are sometimes people who actually come up who are having adjustment issues in their own families. So it's then that we help them. Anger management. These days, there are many teenagers who are coming up with this issue. Anger. They have a lot of anger, and it is counseling that can help them. because we have different sort of therapies, and that is how we perform these certain exercises. We have talk therapy, and we try to figure out what exactly is the problem that the person might be facing. Communication issues is something again counseling helps us with. When we are not very communicative, or when we actually have issues, like social anxiety, and we cannot talk in front of many people, it is then counseling is applicable in our life. Counseling helps us with these communication issues. Counseling also is helpful when there is actually issues, when these misconceptions that all these couples develop these days. So when people are going for premarital or postmarital counseling, or even before divorce, when they take up these counseling sessions, communication or interpersonal therapy is what we actually focus on. Depression and anxiety is something that is growing a lot in number these days because our changing lifestyles. We are depending so much on social media that we are actually losing touch with reality. We don't have friends anymore. We don't have, we rely more on virtual friends. In fact, apart from this, we don't even talk to our families about the problems that we have, and because of which we all are facing a lot of depression and anxiety. And recently COVID pandemic was there, so definitely our anxiety levels were at peak. But thanks to counseling has been helping many people. Eating disorders is something, of course, counseling is very helpful in. Like eating disorders, I mean bulimia or anorexia nervosa. Well, bulimia is somewhere where, the person is into binge eating. The person would just eat and puke. This is what they do. And they're usually overweight. The other thing, the eating disorder, the second eating disorder, the primary one is anorexia nervosa. It is there where the person is so much obsessed with their weight loss program that they actually stop eating. And as a result, they develop a lot of physical issues, because of which counseling is actually suggested for anyone who's having eating disorders. Now, the types of counseling is something that we are going to look into. Individual counseling is a one-to-one counseling. Couples counseling is done for premarital, before marriage, post-marital. This could be when the person is having adjustment issues in the new home or in the new environment. This could be applicable on both the man and the lady. And of course, divorce counseling is something that is growing in number these days in India. Family counseling is something that is done not only when there is an adjustment issue, but family counseling is also given when he gets diagnosed with some sort of psychological disorder. And then we ask the family to just come up so that they understand how to adjust with the person, how to actually treat the person. So family counseling is extremely important. Group counseling is something that is done in groups. Small groups are arranged, and within groups, people are actually given counseling. So this is applicable on dialectical behavior therapy, and there are various forms of otherwise where group counseling is applicable. Also for substance abuse, group counseling is used. Corporate counseling, as I have said earlier today in this session, is done within the organizations, where we help them with staff counseling services, where we help them with recruitment as well. Corporate counseling is done by professional corporate counselors or corporate psychologists. Educational counseling is done in the setting of institutions, schools, and colleges, where we help the children identify the problems that they are facing with their concentration, focus. There are many people who would come up with issues, I don't remember anything, and it is then that this sort of counseling is applicable. We also help them in actually, fixing on what exactly they want to do. There are various aptitude tests that we use in counseling, and then we actually find out the best career that the person might want to fit into. Rehabilitation is done for victims of human trafficking, or who has faced any sort of social problems. Rehabilitation is also done for post-traumatic stress disorder victims. So rehabilitation is a totally different, branch of psychology, and rehabilitation psychologists ones who perform it, or counselors who have specialized. So are you saying something?
No. Please proceed. Proceed.
Now, next we have mental health counseling. Mental health counseling is a vast subject. We help neurotic patients, psychotic patients, anybody who is having any sort of disorders. We help them with this form of counseling. Substance abuse counseling is something that I have mentioned again today. Substance abuse counseling is where we talk about people who are having drug addictions or are into tobacco addicts, or they might be alcohol addicts too. So we help these people actually get rid of the problems. We motivate them to come out of it. So these are some of the types of counselings that we were to discuss. Now, counseling, so this was the end of today's session. I hope you people have enjoyed it and you people have understood the basics of counseling today. If anyone has got any questions, sir, can I ask him questions now?
Yeah, we will have the question and answer afterwards, Twinkle.
Okay, sir. Okay. So thank you everyone for being so patient.
Please close the...
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please close the... take out the presentation.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, 1 minute. Before going to the questions, now I want all of you to see the chat box. I opened 3 groups and I posted one message, and people came to my personal window and told that, Shivakumar, what is this? You are a mental health trainer and you are posting messages like this. Now see what is happening in the group. There are few people who wants to learn and few people who wants to make business, okay, and they are putting all the what do you call links. Now this is what I meant. The Dr. Ranjini ma'am who has criticized it, and the people who have criticized, please see the chat box. And what is the video they have posted? Please check. See, when you kiss the stone, the statue will not come out. You have to hit the statue. So, with my full conscience, with my full what I know what I am talking, I called them idiots, and this is what I meant. And I am not. I didn't tell just like that. I am not reacting. I am responding. When I posted the message in the group, I responded. It is not the reaction. In Facebook, we gave. See, this is actually we are doing to promote EMOCAT branding. We want to brand our company. Okay, I'm openly telling, but for which I am spending 10,000 rupees. And stealthily someone is coming and putting their link. I will call them. If I call them 420, if you people get hurt, I cannot do anything for that. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Now we will go to the next session. Thank you very much, Twinkle. Twinkle is actually one of the recipients of our awards. So, is it whether the voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, this is what actually we celebrated the...
Yeah, understand your voice, sir.
The voice is coming?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
voice is coming?
Yeah, it's audible.
So this is the function we conducted in Hotel BMAS.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please mute your voice.
Yes,
Please
sir.
mute your voice. Please mute your voice. So this is the function we have conducted in Hotel BMAS, wherein actually we received around 360 plus applications, and these all are the dignitaries who have been awarded for their excellent service. And Twinkle Jain was awarded the Par Excellence Psychologist, and we have the other dignitaries, Sanjana, Young Achiever Award. She has completed her MSc in Clinical Psychologist, and she has already delivered more than 5 international seminars, and she will be discussing with us about graphology. She is going to talk with us about graphology. And Dr. Rupali Sharma, she is a psychologist. She is also going to deliver a lecture. and we have CP Nirmala in the right side bottom. She is going to talk about forensic psychology if possible. Okay, so these are the dignitaries. Just I wanted to introduce to all of you. So now I will go to. We have 15 more minutes. I will just talk about NLP, outcome based life. Now we have seen about counseling. Okay, mental health practitioner means here what we aim is we want to give the audience the basics of counseling. What is counseling? That's all. Now, how to do anxiety counseling, how to do depression counseling. Okay, these are the things actually we used to discuss in our 60 days program and in our NLP programs. So that is not the purview of this program. In 10 days, all these things cannot be conducted. So, yeah. So when people join the video call, they have to understand that we have to okay. So I have stopped the video of someone. People should see that they behave properly when they come in the video. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about a neuro-linguistic program, one of the best concepts. Before discussing it, I will talk a little bit about transactional analysis, strokes. How many of you know? How many of you have come across strokes? I want answer only from the people who are not studying course now. Okay, that is who are undertaking TA course in my organization. Other than that, the general audience who have joined for this mental health certification, strokes. Strokes. How many of you know what is strokes in transactional analysis? If you do not know, you can put D in the chat box. Put D. Strokes. Put D in the. If you do not know, put D in the. Okay. Because I should not tell something which all of you know. If I am sharing something which all of you know, then the purpose of the program is out. Okay, team. So, as far as possible, I want people to come on the video. Okay. As far as possible, we will have a very wonderful day now. Okay. We will have good interaction and learning. There are stroke means a unit of recognition. I will share the PPT and all afterwards. Stroke means a unit of recognition. There are two types of strokes. There are two types of strokes, positive strokes and negative strokes. Positive strokes and negative strokes. So if we put it in the quadrant, we get 4 types. The first one is always we have to give unconditional positive strokes. Unconditional positive strokes, we have to give more to our own self and to others. Unconditional positive strokes. Unconditional positive stroke means if you are appreciating a personality for just being, the more you appreciate, the more good system you are creating. You have to appreciate your own self unconditionally. You have to appreciate the other people unconditionally. So unconditional positive stroke is what we have to give to our own self and to others. For example, now I will give some unconditional positive strokes. Okay. Inderpal Singh. Inderpal Singh looks very handsome and very professional. Right from the first day I am noting Inderpal Singh ji, the way in which he sits and all other things. Inderpal Singh ji, you are a thorough professional. Unconditional positive stroke. Usha Prasad is having a wonderful smiling face. Unconditional positive stroke. Now when I say this, you can see the smile in her face. That is, we all love, we all like unconditional positive strokes. We need strokes, that is unconditional positive strokes we need. If anybody says you look ugly, whether we will like it, we will not. So as far as possible, if at all we want to be a winner in our life, if at all we want to have good friendships, good relationships, and good business, even good business, we have to give unconditional positive strokes to people. Gayatri NP looks very calm and looks thorough professional. Unconditional positive stroke. Okay. Now I want every one of you to come on the video call if possible. Okay. And you can choose any one person and give unconditional positive stroke in the chat box. In the chat box, choose anyone and give an unconditional positive stroke. I will give unconditional positive stroke. Rajesh Parital, I think. I'm not able to read the full name. Rajesh looks so handsome. Rajesh looks so handsome. He looks like our Talabadi Vijay. Yeah, I think he's from Tamil Nadu. Okay. So, unconditional positive stroke. Amita Chaudhary, always she's a Wonder Woman. Amita Chaudhary, because I know her, she's in my program. So there are many, so please give unconditional positive strokes to people. Please give unconditional positive strokes to people. Just choose someone. See, if at all we want to appreciate, now we have 1,000 things to appreciate, okay? Sir, how can I just appreciate someone by seeing? You can. You're a wonderful person. Whoever joined this training, we are all wonderful people. Instead of spending our time in front of the idiot box, we are all spending here to learn something. That means you're all wonderful. You're all wonderful people. That is your unconditional strokes to the entire people who have joined this program, 451 people. So unconditional positive strokes, we have to give every time. The next one is conditional positive stroke. Conditional positive stroke is, suppose you want to correct the behavior of someone. You are telling to someone, you are giving unconditional positive strokes, but you are not seeing any change. You are not seeing any change. You want to change the behavior. So what you can do is, you can give conditional positive stroke. Conditional positive stroke is, if you get 90% in maths, okay, I will be more happy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. If you get up at 6 o'clock daily, you are attaching a condition. But it is a positive stroke. You are a good boy. It is a positive stroke. But we are attaching a condition. Conditional positive stroke. If you do this, you are good. So conditional positive stroke we can give to correct some personality. So conditional stroke is very, very important. What we should not give is unconditional negative strokes. 99%. 1% we can give. 1% means when things are out of your control. Okay, you have to make the people understand, means sometimes we have to give unconditional negative stroke. 99% it is better to avoid. Now the thing is, in our home, with people, with our friends, we should always avoid unconditional negative strokes. You're bad. You're good at nothing. You're idiot. These all are the words. This is just like putting a stamp on the white paper. Putting a stamp on the white paper, which cannot be erased. You cannot erase it. So we have to, we should not give unconditional negative stroke. What we can give instead is conditional negative strokes. If you get up at 5 o'clock, you are a very good boy. That is conditional positive. You can give conditional negative. If you don't follow the rules, I will beat you. The police says. The police gives always unconditional negative. If you don't follow the rules and regulations, I will hit you. If you don't follow the regulations, I will fine you. Conditional negative. If you don't. When some behavior is going out of control, you can give conditional negative. But unconditional negative, 99% it has to be avoided. So unconditional positive strokes, the more you give, you will be able to get very good result. I will give you one technique which you can utilize, which you can start practicing from today. Suppose if you have a kid, or if you know someone, you want to change the behavior. For example, some boy is getting some boy is not scoring very good mark in English. Okay, you want to improve his game. Give unconditional positive stroke when the boy is sleeping. See, when we go to sleep, there are 3 stages: conscious mind, preconscious mind. Okay, preconscious mind. Then when you travel subconscious mind, or preconscious mind and subconscious mind, both are same. That also people tell. No one knows it because these are the thing. It has not been proven. So we will take conscious mind, preconscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. So when we sleep, we touch unconscious mind and preconscious mind means you will be fully awake. That is, your mind is fully awake. You will be able to listen everything, but your body will not cooperate. That is preconscious stage. Morning you will be in your bed. Mother will come and give chai pillow. Take tea. Ma 10 minute bath. See, I am hearing what my mother says, but my hand will not move. I will not be able to get up. That is preconscious stage. Now, preconscious stage, it comes twice. That is, when you go to sleep also it comes. When you get up from the bed also it comes. These all are the wonderful time. These all are the wonderful time to program your physical component and mental component. In NLP, that is neuro. It is called neuro. To program your mind, use the preconscious mind when you are going to sleep or when you are getting up from the bed. Okay, that preconscious stage. Go to the child near, hug the child, kiss the child. Okay, stroke means the more. See, strokes you can give by way of appreciating, by way of hugging, okay, by way of giving a kiss. So in your home, where your kids, hug them daily. If at all you want your children to be mentally healthy, hug them. Somebody comes and tells, I am in problem, hug them. Hug them. Hug them and tell, everything will be over here. Don't worry. This too shall pass. So when the child is sleeping in the night, hug the child, kiss the child and tell, I love you. And whatever you want, change, tell it in the positive way. Don't tell you have to get good mark, then I will love you. No. Nowadays, you are getting good mark in marks. I am very, very happy. See, the language should be, kiss the child, tell 3 times. Nowadays, you are getting very good marks in English and I love you. Now, what will happen? Morning 3 times, night 3 times. Do this for 21 days or at least for 10 days. I tell you, definitely you will see a change in the boy because in the unconscious level, it will start working because it has been proved in the science. Whatever you speak with the child when the child is in the preconscious, not only child, you can do it with anyone. During my counseling, even I have done it for every aspect. We are all very matured here. I have used this even in sex counseling. I have used this in depression counseling. Any counseling, you can use this technique. Whatever you want, tell it in a positive, affirmative way. Whatever you want. For example, somebody is getting more anger. Nowadays, you are becoming more calm. I'm loving you. I'm loving you. I love you too much. Tell something, but the same language. choose one sentence, the same sentence repeat every day, morning and night. Okay. So after 20 days, you will be able to see a change in them. So I want someone to open the, see, we would have given unconditional negative strokes to many people. Okay. Even now I gave unconditional negative stroke, but with full my consciousness I gave. Because this is what it will happen, I know. So I gave. But in your daily life, with your family, with your wife, with your husband, with your children, with your neighbor, okay? If you have given unconditional negative strokes, give them unconditional positive strokes, call them and give unconditional positive. Definitely the relationship will start building up again. The more you give unconditional positive strokes to people, smiling is an unconditional positive stroke. Clapping is an unconditional positive stroke. Clapping. Clap for some people, unconditional positive stroke. Hug them, unconditional positive stroke. So give more unconditional positive stroke. Give conditional positive stroke to change behavior. Give conditional negative stroke to change the very deep behavior, character level behavior, so that you will be able to change the behavior. So strokes are very, very important. Now I want someone to raise their hand and tell whom you will go and hug after this class. Sir, now I am going to, after this class, I am going to hug someone. Hug and tell, I love you.
Sir, to my kids.
Your kids. Okay, very nice. See, with this I will finish. I was in Kanyakumari addressing parents. I was addressing parents. So what happened, I told about this concept. Okay, after talking about this concept, one woman who is actually a fisher folk, okay, fisher, she is working in the fisheries. So she just stood and told, Sir, that means I want to talk. She told in Tamil, and I told, okay, please come. She came to the stage and she told, sir, whatever you told, because I spoke in Tamil, okay? So whatever you spoke, I understood. Sir, I'm very sorry, sir. Actually, she started crying. The video is available in my YouTube. I will share the video. That woman told a very nice aspects, you know. She told, sir, every day, sir, actually, we are from a very poor family and we have a cow in our home. So morning, 5 o'clock, I used to get up my son and he used to take the cows, okay? And when if he is not studying now, I used to curse him. You are fit only for this purpose. You are fit only for this purpose. In Tamil, they say that ni erma maadu megadanda like. So in Hindi, गाय देखने के लिए आप जो है गाय देखने के लिए सही होगा. You will not fit for learning. This is how I used to shout at my son, sir, when he was very young. But now, see, sir, he is in that job itself, sir. He is coming to school, but he is also doing that job. Sir, now I assure you in front of these people, sir, hereafter I will never shout at my son. I will never tell, sir. And I was very happy now that day. See, you people are educated people. Okay, we have all completed our degrees. Okay, if you understand this topic now, that is not at all a big matter. But if you people, if you are able to make someone, okay, your neighbors who are not very good in learning, etc., if you make them understand this concept, then really it is an achievement. And please tell these kind of concepts to the people, the students, particularly train the students this. I was taking class for 8th standard students. Of this concept I told. One boy gave a letter, and he told, sir, please go home and study, sir. Please go home and read. Don't open it now. I went home and I opened, and he has written, sir, my mother is suffering from cancer. See, when you were talking, sir, I understood many aspects. Sir, I have never given unconditional positive stroke to my mother, sir. I know my mother is suffering. She is having pain. I know. But I used to demand things from her. Even last week, I was demanding cycle with her. and I cried, and she also cried, and somehow she managed to get me a cycle, sir. But I never gave her unconditional positive stroke. Sir, today, now I assure you, sir, I will go home and I will hug my mother and I will tell my mother that, don't worry, I am with you. Now, really, that day, we tell that counter transference. Okay, we should not get bothered by what people say. That day, really, I felt like two drops of water came from my eyes because I felt that the boy is really touching my heart. Give unconditional positive strokes more, as far as possible, as much as possible to your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbors, wherever, whatever is possible. 1% if it is unavoidable, okay, that also consciously you can give. Consciously. Consciously means when you give unconditional negative strokes to someone, you are hurting yourself first and then you are hurting others. That means when you will give unconditional negative stroke when you get anger. There should not be anger inside, but you can give unconditional negative strokes 1%. That is also 1%. Okay. I used to give whenever in my programs, if at all I want to bring out the statue out of it. Only to bring out the statue out of it, not to hurt the people. So team, tomorrow we are not having any training. Okay. Yesterday questionnaire I didn't send. Okay. I want to give some kind of risk to you people also. Whatever we learned on the 4 days, I want you people to go through it. Okay. Please go through it. And I will send the 2 days answer, the quiz also. I will send it tonight or tomorrow. I will send it. Tomorrow you can fill up everything. Okay. And I want the people who are here. Okay. If you like the concepts, just go and Google it, or even you can ask me in my personal window. I am ready to provide you the additional matters. You come out with your own writing. You come out with your own writing. Okay. You come out with your own writing. I will put it in my blog. My website, it is being visited by around 1,400, 1,500 people daily. I will put it in blog and I will put it in all my groups. Or if you want to put a video, the 4 days, whatever you have learned, okay, and how do you think that it may be helpful for people? Take a video for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, okay, share it to me and I will put it in my YouTube channel, okay, with your name and with your thing, I will put it so that good things will reach more people. When I say it becomes business, okay, but when you say, nah, that is not business, that is something which I understood, which I relish and which I believe, that I will tell, isn't it? So for 4 days, whatever we have seen, if you want, either you can send a write-up or you can send a video. I will post it in the YouTube. I will post it in the blog also. Thank you very much, team. You are all wonderful. You are all great. You are all super. We are having 409 people now. Okay. Do you have the patience for 3 minutes? 3 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us finish it. Let us finish it with a very good song. Okay. Be happy. Don't worry. Every day you have some trouble. When you worry, you make it as double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy. Don't worry.
Happy.
Happy Sunday, team. Happy Sunday. Happy weekend. Have fun. Have maja. Okay?
You too
Life is
also.
to live. Life is to enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
For your wonderful session.
Bye, sir. Bye. Thank you.
Yes,
You
sir.
have made a very wonderful training
Thank you,
today.
sir. Lots of thanks. You
Given
are
very
a
good
good human being.
So can I
Nandini, sir,
share
Nandini.
something? Shiva sir, can I share something?
Yeah, please. I will mute everyone.
Yeah.
I will mute everyone. Then you can say. Yeah. Yeah. Who wants to say? Someone wanted to say something? Please open the mic and talk.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, please
sir.
go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I wanted to share something.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was going to have a tough day today because I was appointed as a counselor in one of the schools in New Bombay.
Please
And
clap, team. Please clap, team. The school has made a wonderful choice.
no, sir. But the coordinator somewhere, instead of the counseling role, wanted to write a book, you know. And I wrote her a mail yesterday that I am not inclined or I am not trained to do something like this. I was being very honest to her. And somewhere it was eating me up. And she just wrote a line saying, okay, thank you. And that was very curt. So before going to the school and speaking to my PRO, I did the circle of excellence that you were teaching us the other day. And the entire way from my house till the school, I was going on saying the circle of excellence. And because somewhere I had lost my confidence. And when I spoke to the PRO after the entire session, you know, we still want to know what has happened. But the confidence that I spoke to the PRO with was really amazing. So this is what I wanted to share with you, sir. I mean, you know, it really helps.
Team, this is what the real thing. Actually, Circle of Excellence from NLP, not only Circle of Excellence, NLP has so many techniques, I'm telling you. Team, actually, I joined a company as a peon. My first salary was 160 rupees. My first salary was 160 rupees. I joined as a peon. I used to take coffee and tea to the people. Okay, that is how I started my journey. I discontinued my studies in 8th standard. My father died when I was studying 8th standard. I discontinued my studies. 10th, I did it through correspondence. 11th correspondence, 12th correspondence. I never went to school. I never went to college. Regular college, I never went. But after learning NLP, I have trained professors and lectures in NLP. I have trained professors and lectures, but I have not visited any college. Why I'm telling NLP is so powerful, team, and Gayatri ma'am is the living example for that. Thank you very much, Gayatri ma'am. It is a wonderful sharing.
So thank you to you. Thank you to you. Because had it been not you, sir, that day it would have been difficult.
No, ma'am, it is not me, ma'am. It is not me. Circle of Excellence has been done by someone. Just I am a postman, ma'am. I am a postman between a Richard Bandler and Gayatri. Shivakumar is a postman. Gayatri believed in it, so it got worked. There are people who don't believe. Okay. See, there is a Gayatri ma'am, I think you are from Tamil Nadu. There is a very nice...
Sir, I'm a North Indian.
Yeah, you look like a typically South Indian. There is a very nice song in Tamil. If you think it is a stone, it is a stone. If you think it is a god, it is a god. Your thinking makes. If you think it is God, it is Vinayaka. It is powerful. It is powerful. It is God. If you think it is stone, then it is only a stone. So it is our mind. So Milton has said very nicely, with this I finish, it is the mind that makes hell of heaven or heaven of hell. It is the mind that makes hell of heaven or heaven of hell. Thank you very much, team. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
I wanted to ask you something.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Sir, I
sir.
wanted to ask you something.